Please welcome Derrick Wilburn, founder of Rocky Mountain Black Conservatives.
Thank you, Patriots. Before I begin my comments, I would like to ask a favor of you. I would like for you to join me in, when I count down 3, in congratulating a very special guest that I have with us here today. As most of you know, as some of you know, whoever is running my PowerPoint in the back, you're about to get fired. That's not my PowerPoint. Well, they're getting it together. I'm joined by a very special individual this afternoon. My wife and I have 3 children. Our oldest, Connor, is a recent graduate of the United States Air Force Academy 2 weeks ago. Two weeks ago, Connor was commissioned a 2nd lieutenant in the United States Air Force, and I would like for you, when I count to 3, to say with me, congratulations, Lieutenant Wilburn. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, Lieutenant Wilburn. Nice. I love you, son. Job well done. Now, theoretically, someone in the back is going to have my PowerPoint presentation up here in a couple of moments. For those who do not know, I founded the Rocky Mountain Black Conservatives. That is our 501c3 nonprofit organization based in Colorado Springs. And we've been working on bridging the gap between ethnic minority voters and the conservative political cause, and doing so with some efficiency. The Republican Party, the Conservative Party, the Tea Party, take your pick of terms, has historically had a very difficult time connecting with ethnic minority voters. Everybody knows that. The question is, what are we doing about it? Well, we can't expect the Republicans, whoever that even is, to do it for us. We have to do it for ourselves. So I started this organization and launched an internship program last year, where we now begin taking young, college-aged, Black American students from all across the country, and we send them to Washington, D.C. to intern for conservative, Republican, and Tea Party host legislatures every year. And they get to experience something incredible. They get to experience with their own eyes and ears, not through a corrupt media establishment, not through a corrupt education establishment, but with their own eyes and ears, they get to experience the truth about who we are and what we believe. And we have been changing lives. Gentlemen in the back, are we getting close to getting my slides? Somebody let me know. Last summer, the very first intern class left. They left and worked in Washington, D.C. from early June until late July. They worked a 7-week term. And they interned for people like Trey Gowdy, Cory Gardner, Kathy McMorris Rogers, Pete Sessions, and worked side by side along with conservatives and got exposure to to who we are and what we believe. We had a tremendous experience in line for them. They got a White House tour. They got a tour of the Capitol Dome. They got to sit and have private audience with key influencers from Washington, D.C. They had a private audience with Senator Tim Scott. They had a private audience with David Hope, Paul Ryan's chief of staff. They had a private audience with Mia Love, and people who could speak to the truth of what it's like being Black and working on Capitol Hill. And their experience changed them for the rest of their lives. They came back with reports saying things like, boy, Tim Scott, I was completely wrong about that man. What a great individual. At the beginning of the summer, what they knew about Tim Scott were the things that they saw on CNN, on MSNBC, on the web blogs, but then they got to spend time and they learned about Senator Tim Scott from Senator Tim Scott. And by the end of the summer, they came home saying things like, my perception of that man were completely wrong. That's not a sellout. That's not an Uncle Tom. That's a great American who loves the Constitution. Their perceptions about these people and about who we are and what we believe got completely flipped on their end. And now, our next intern class is in Washington, D.C. right now. They left on Monday. As we speak, the last internship class we have more than doubled this summer. They arrived in Washington, D.C. on Monday, and while you're sitting there listening to me speak, they're on Capitol Hill working for conservatives right now. Last summer, we had interns from Arizona State University, from UCLA, from University of Colorado, from St. John's in New York, from Florida A&M University, from all over the country. We pay for everything. The internship itself is paid. They get $1,500 as a stipend for the summer. We pay for their housing. We rented a block of dorm rooms at George Washington University, and they lived in the dorms at George Washington. We covered their airfare. We pay their transportation to and from Washington, D.C., first class all the way. And by the end of the summer, they went back and began referring kids from their home school to participate this year. They said, this is something that you need to go and do. So they're talking to their classmates, to their sorority sisters, to their fraternity brothers, and this year we sent more than twice as many. They arrived on Monday. I was there to do their orientation and flew back here to talk to you about the experience. They right now are meeting next week, if all goes well. They'll have a private audience with Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. You know what they think about that man right now? Sellout, Uncle Tom. You know what they're going to think about him after that? A patriot who loves this country. We're all the result of our thinking and experiences in our formative years, right? We can't change that. My parents, in their formative years, there are things we can never unsee. We can never unremember. My parents can never unsee or unremember dogs being turned on people, hoses being turned on people, signs above bathroom doors, colored white, signs above water fountains, colored white. They can never unremember that. These young people that we send to Washington, D.C. every year, they can never unremember this experience. And their experience is, you know what? Those conservatives aren't all that bad. I agree with them about a lot. And we change them for life. Because right now, these 19-year-olds will one day be 59-year-olds. And this experience that we send them on has established the rest of their lives. And just to prove to you that this isn't all some figment of my imagination, that I didn't just hallucinate this whole deal, 2 of our interns, Kendall Watts from Grand Canyon University and Hannah Clark from the University of Colorado, are with me here today, right now. So I told them they could come out and do a golf wave and then get the heck out. But they are 2 of 9 that went last year. She's from University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona. Had an incredible experience. And we have a breakout session at 3:30 in room 507, where you're going to get to hear the full story of the internship program. I'll have slides and pictures that the interns themselves took. Plus, we'll take question and answers from you as a panel about the truth and the power of this particular organization and this particular program. Thank you both for participating and for coming today to honor me.
Thank you.
Patriots, this is the only way. Here's what people wish existed. Here's what I wish existed. A magic wand. And I could just wave it. And poof, we magically affect 16 million people all at once. I wish I had that thing, but I don't. The only way to do this is one individual, one kitchen table, one street, one neighborhood at a time. That's it. Are 9 interns enough to make a difference in the grand scheme of things? Probably not, but at least we've started. 9 down, 4 million to go. We have not yet arrived, but thank God we've left. So I would invite you to come to my breakout session. It is at 3:30 or 3 o'clock, whatever time the afternoon session begins, room 507. I got a full hour, and I have a presentation based in pictures taken by the interns themselves about how their lives and perceptions have been changed. They left, a lot of them at the beginning of the summer, liberal, mush for brain, 21-year-old college students. They came back completely changed. Plus, the new class is there. And I went recruiting students at historically black colleges across this country for the last year. I interviewed 12 students at Florida A&M University and HBC in Florida. Of the 12, 4 of them were Black Lives Matter activists, and told them, you need to learn about this program and participate. Woke up the next morning in my hotel room, checked my inbox, guess how many applications I had? 12. And they're in Washington, D.C. right now. And when you come to my breakout session at 3:30, you'll hear the rest of the story. Thank you and God bless.